Here are the 5 things you should do if you want to start a vlog right now in 2025. Video sponsored by Squarespace. The number one thing, the most important thing is that you start creating and posting videos on a schedule, like in a routine immediately. You just gotta start. You gotta pick a schedule. If you have ADHD like me, daily is probably the easiest schedule because it just kind of keeps happening. You don't have time to kind of like let it not happen because it's like, well, it's a new day, new video. You know what I'm saying? I have dabbled back and forth between saying like, it's okay to just make the videos so you don't have to post them. You know, I could see it both ways, but I really think that posting the videos, regardless of what state they're in, on that set routine is a crucial part. I think that's a crucial part of the process of becoming a vlogger, of vlogging. Number 2, you need to embrace that these videos that you are posting, that you are creating, are not going to be good enough, okay? And the reason why is that anytime you're trying something out new, you know, you got a new thing you're trying out, you're just not gonna be good at it at first. The thing is, the way to get better at it is to do the thing, is to practice the thing, is to continuously come back to the thing and fall in love with that process of coming back to the thing, even when you're not good at the thing. So that the goal isn't to be a successful vlogger, the goal is to make vlogs, right? And the kind of magic of it is that the people who can embrace that, who can embrace the idea that none of the stuff that I'm making is good enough, they're the ones who become very good at the thing that they're doing. They weren't trying to make good vlogs. They were just caught up in the process of vlogging. And in so doing, now they've learned how to make good vlogs. It's like the professor with the pottery class. You guys know the story? Do you know the story of the professor and the pottery? All right, there's this professor. To half of his class, he said, all right, I want you to make one amazing piece of pottery. All right, that one amazing piece of pottery is due at the end of the semester. Watch whatever you need to watch, learn whatever you need to learn, but make one amazing piece of pottery. To the other half of the class, he said, all right, your assignment is to make a new piece of pottery every single day for this entire semester. At the end of the semester, I want you to hand in the piece of pottery that you made on that final day of the semester. Somehow, amazingly, both halves of the class did it. And half of the class that had to study and learn and think about making that one amazing piece of pottery, maybe it comes as no surprise to you, each of their pieces of pottery were significantly less masterful, were significantly worse than that other half of the class who had been making pottery every single day for the entire semester, not necessarily focusing on making it good, but learning the process and learning their style and getting a feel for like, what does pottery, what does clay feel like in my hands? They, throughout that process of doing, became masters at the craft of pottery.
Squarespace has got some awesome new stuff going on. First is design intelligence. It's 2 decades of industry-leading design experience combined with AI to help you craft a beautiful, more personalized website quickly and easily. Second is Squarespace Payments. You can manage all of your payments right in Squarespace and give your customers more ways to pay with all the regular methods plus ACH direct deposit, Klarna, Afterpay, Apple Pay, and ClearPay. And lastly, right along with that, Squarespace invoicing. You can send estimates, proposals, contracts, and invoices right through your Squarespace site. Makes it super easy for your customers and for you as a business owner. If you want to try it out, go to squarespace.com for a free trial, and then when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/CodyWarner to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.
Number 3 is get to know other creators. So that's just people who make stuff. You know, they could make anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be videos. Could be photos, could be physical, tangible stuff. I love people who make physical, tangible stuff. Just other creators. You know, you want to be around artistic people. You want to be around creative people in real life and online as much as possible. This could be an ADHD thing for me. When something's out of sight, it's very easy for it to become out of mind. I can just forget something extremely important, like kind of like that, and then not remember it until there's something around me to jog my memory of it. creators all around you in your real life, shooting you messages, you're texting with them, hey, you want to meet up, and on the internet, they're that thing that's kind of constantly reminding you, this is who I am, this is what I want to be, this is what I want to do. I'm doing this even though I'm not great at it. It's easy to kind of become like the people that you spend time with, So if you're spending time with people who are people that you want to become like, you're giving yourself a good little leg up there. Next thing to do is get used to having your main camera with you. I know we've all got our phones, and don't get me wrong, like you can shoot on your phone. Maybe your phone is your main camera. Then you have, bonus. But just get used to thinking of this as a camera more than as a phone. If your phone is your main camera, I think that is an important mental shift, but get used to having your main camera with you and kind of create a system for how you're going to do that in like a safe and practical way, One of the hardest parts of vlogging for me is just having my camera with the big fluffy mic on it with me, and me not being afraid of like leaving it somewhere, me not being afraid of it getting stolen. So I kind of always want it with me on my person. Does it mean like carrying a little camera pack that's just for your vlogging setup? How are you gonna do it? But figure out a system to have your camera with you so that you're just very quick to pull it out and start capturing with it. Like 40 years ago, there were vloggers, but really they weren't called that. They were just making home videos, They were just like capturing their lives, And that's awesome. That's really cool just to have a bunch of footage of your life, of the people around you who you love's lives. Because the stories and the interesting stuff and the visual stuff that happens all around us all the time is just crazy, So you just want to get in the habit of quickly pulling out your camera and capturing it. This goes along with the pottery, but number 5 is you got to think of this as all practice. This is all practice. Even though you're publishing, even though your channel's starting to grow, even though some videos are doing better than other videos and you're starting to look at analytics and all that stuff, it's all just practice. It's all just practice for some tournament that is at some point coming up. There's some, I think, scientific study about when an athlete is trying to give 100%, they end up kind of thinking too much, kind of using too many muscles, getting a little bit too tense, and they end up not performing at their best. So instead, some coaches, some trainers recommend that you try to give 85% of your best effort. Then you're kind of able to relax. You start letting your body do what it needs to do without you overthinking it, and you end up performing a lot better and getting less tired, that sort of thing. Taking some of the pressure off, thinking of each video as kind of practice, as kind of preparation for the next one, as preparation for this documentary that you're making about your life or about someone in your life. And for me, I think it's a really good mentality, and I think it's helped me to create some of my better work because I wasn't putting all this weight on this thing needs to be the best thing in the world. Whenever I do that, I end up just not releasing videos. And as I mentioned, I don't think that's a way to be a vlogger. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you start vlogging. I'm a huge fan of it. I hope that you go out there and get this thing. It's almost March. Let's get it. Let's get out there. Let's get this thing. You got this.